Hello and namaste to everyone. So in my last video for arithmetic progression, we have completed exercise 5.2, which was on the application of nth term of an AP. Today I am going to start a new concept in this video, that is sum of first n terms of an AP or arithmetic progression. So let us understand how we have reached to the formula for sum of n terms of an arithmetic progression. This formula is also very important from your examination point of view. So remember, you have to learn this formula as well as try to understand how we have reached to this formula. Okay, so let us see that there is an arithmetic progression S. S is sum of that arithmetic progression. So wherever am I writing S, that means sum of that arithmetic progression. Let there be an AP 1, 2, 3, 4 till 100. Then sum for this AP will be what? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, and this will go on till what? 100. Okay? Let us write this arithmetic progression in reverse order. S is equals to 100 plus 99 plus 98 plus so plus 1. Okay? Now let's add these two arithmetic progressions. Okay, that is add this first equation and second equation. What will you get if you add 100 with 1? Here on LHS we will get 2s, because s plus s is what? 2s. Here we have 1 here and 100 here. Right? So 100 plus 1 is what? 101. 99 plus 2 is what? Again 101. 98 plus 3 is what? Again 101. And similarly we will go on and we will find that this 100 plus 1 is also equal to 101. So isn't this an interesting thing happening around in this AP? That if you are adding the first term and the last term, then the sum is same. If you are adding second term and second last term, again the sum is same. If you are adding third term and third last term, because I have written this in reverse order, right? So this 98 is third last term from here. Again sum is same. Now see, 2s is equals to what? How many times this 101 will come? How many times? The number of terms they are in the AP. Right? This 101 will come 100 times. Why 101 will come 100 times? 101 is going to come 100 times because there are 100 terms in this AP. 1 to 100 are how many terms? 100 terms. So this 101 will be added how many times? 100 times. So can I write 101 into 100? Right? Because see, if I take this out common and then add this, then I will get 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Let me explain that to you. If I take this as 2s is equals to 101 and then I write here in bracket, then it will be what? 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus and 1. How many times 1 will be there? Naturally 100 times. So 2s is equals to 101 into 100. Right? 2s is equals to what? 101 into 100. If 2s is equals to 101 into 100, can I say s will be equal to 101 into 100 upon 2. And what is s equals to? S is sum of this arithmetic progression. So s is equals to what? 101 into 100 upon 2. Now let us try to generalize this formula, okay? Let me take an arithmetic progression with n terms. Okay, the first term for this AP will be A. The second term becomes what? A plus D. How I have find out this? An is equals to A plus n minus 1 into D. Right, and if I put n as 2 here, I will get A2 as A plus D. A3 will be given as what? If I put n as 3, A3 will be equal to A plus 2D. A4 will be equals to A plus 3D. And what will be the nth term equal to? An is equals to A plus n minus 1 into D. Okay. Now the sum for this arithmetic progression will be what? Sum for this arithmetic progression is going to be equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3 until An, right? What is, and if I write this again in reverse order, then it will be An plus An minus 1 plus so again A3 plus A2 plus A1. Okay, let me write both of these in their expanded version. A1 is A, A2 is A plus D, A3 is A plus 2D, and so on. An is what? A plus n minus 1 into D. Right? Let me use these brackets so that you don't get confused. Let me write this again for you. A1 is what? A. Then A2 is A plus D. A3 is A plus 2D. And so on. An will become A plus n minus 1 into D. Right? An will become A plus n minus 1 into D. If I write this in reverse order. Okay, what will be An minus 1 term? An minus 1 term will be A plus n minus 1 into D. Right? Because instead of n, I am putting n minus 1 there. So An minus 1 is equals to what? A plus n minus 2 into D. Right? As I have explained you how we have reached A1 as A, A2 as A plus D, A3 as A plus 2D, and An as A plus n minus 1 into D. In the similar manner, An minus 1 will be equal to what? A plus n minus 1 into D, because An is equals to what? A plus n minus 1 into D. So An minus 1 will be equal to what? Instead of n, I will put what? N minus 1 here. It will be A plus n minus 1 into D, that is An minus 1 is equals to A plus n minus 2 into D. Right? So let me write this in reverse order. In reverse order, what will be? S will be equals to An, right? An plus An minus 1 plus so on plus A3 plus A2 plus A1. Let me write the values for An minus 1, A3, A2 and A1. So An will be equal to what? A plus n minus 1 into D. Right? An minus 1 will be equal to what? A plus n minus 2 into D. And in the similar manner, A3 will be here A plus 2D, A, right? A2 will be A plus D. And at last we have A1, that will be equal to plus A. Now let's add these. On LHS we have what? S plus S is what? 2S. Let's try to add A in this A plus n minus 1 into D. What will you have? You will have 2A plus n minus 1 into D. In this A plus D, right? This is first term. I have added first term with this, and it has given me what? 2a plus n minus 1 into d. This is second term. Let's add this to second term. Again, it will give you what? 2a plus n minus 1 into d. In the similar manner, let's add last term, that is an, with the last term of this reverse arithmetic progression of the series. That will give me again what? 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So whenever you are going to add the first term and last term of this arithmetic progression, it is going to give you 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Second term with the second last term of this arithmetic progression, again it is going to give you 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So this is how we always get 2a plus n minus 1 into d for how many times? How many times this will be repeated? For n number of times, because how many terms are there in this arithmetic progression? There are n number of terms here, right? So if I write this as 2s and I take 2a plus n minus 1 into d as common, then I will be left with adding 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 for how many number of times? For n times, because how many terms are there in this arithmetic progression? There are n terms in this arithmetic progression, right? So this will be added, 1 will be added and we get this as n, because there are n terms in this arithmetic progression, right? So 2s will become equal to n into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. If 1 is added 100 times, then it will be equal to 100. If 1 is added n times, then it will be equal to n. So I hope this is clear to you how I have got n here. This is very important. If you do not understand this step, you can always mention it in comment section and I will explain that to you again. Okay, so this is equal to n. Now, this 2 will come here, right? S is equals to n upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So this is the general form for the sum of n terms of an arithmetic progression. So S is equals to what? N upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Very important formula. You should learn this because a lot of questions are asked in exam on the basis of this formula. S is equals to n upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Alright. Now see, can I break this? Can I write this as S is equals to n upon 2, a plus n minus 1 into d? Right? This will be equal to what? 2a plus n minus 1 into d only? A is what? A is the first term of an arithmetic progression. So I can say n upon 2 into a1, and a plus n minus 1 into d is what? Nth term of this arithmetic progression. That will become a1 plus an. So S is equals to n upon 2, a1 plus an. So these two are the general forms of an arithmetic progression where S is equal to n upon 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, or S is equals to n upon 2 into a1 plus an, and an is also the last term for this arithmetic progression, so I can write this as S is equals to n upon 2 a1 plus an. So it is one and the same thing. S is equals to n upon 2 multiplied by the sum of the first term and last term. So I hope this formula is clear to you. These two two formulas are very important from your examination point of view. So you should learn these formulas and mark them as few of the very important formulas which you do have to learn before you appear for your exam. So with this I have explained to you how we have reached to both of these formulas. If you have any queries, please mention it in comment section. In my next video, I will discuss the application. I will discuss the questions in which these formulas are applied. That's it. Thank you.